welcome to the Cat's Tail. Ah, it's the Traveler and Paimon. What a nice surprise. Oh, and Sucrose the Alchemist. It's been a while, hasn't it? I'm afraid I've already told you before. Fur from the Cat's Tail staff is not for sale, no matter how much Mora you offer.
Don't worry, Margaret. We're not here for that research project I told you about last time.
Sucrose, what kind of experiment were you trying to do with the cat's tail?
I just wanted to test out some hypotheses, and I needed some materials. But, we can talk about that later. Actually, Margaret, we're here to learn more about Genius Invocation TCG.
Ah, Genius Invocation TCG. We were just talking about that game. You see, more and more people have been gathering at the Cat's Tail to play, so I thought, why not have a dedicated staff to serve the new customers?
Allow me to interpret. Prince says that the word customer is much too loose of a term, and we should instead refer to anyone who loves dueling with cards as TCG players.
My mistake. So it seems I haven't introduced you yet. This is Prince and Shuyan. They will be in charge of taking care of our TCG players.
I'm afraid I must correct you there, ma'am. Only Prince, the strongest and most formidable TCG player of all, is capable of providing valuable guidance to our new players. The average player is incapable of grasping the subtlety and sheer genius behind Prince's every play, and he has no choice but to rely on me to communicate with everyone. I am merely Prince's lowly assistant, that's all.
Wow, another guy who can understand animals!
How can you use such a crude word as animal to describe the one and only Prince? He is special and the only one of his kind. Such a remark is an insult to Prince. Oh? What's that? Shu Yen. In the eyes of the common folk, I look no different than any other ordinary cat. It's a natural mistake to make, and you shouldn't overreact. Understood. I do apologize.
It seems he really is capable of communicating with the cat. Could this be the result of some modification to the language center of his brain?
Seriously, how can he get all of that from a simple meow?
It was the duels of Genius Invocation TCG that allowed our hearts to bond. It's understandable that ordinary people such as yourselves are unable to comprehend such a thing.
So, playing Genius Invocation TCG fosters some sort of a telepathic link between players?
Somehow Paimon doubts that.
Uh-huh. Anyway, if you'd like to know anything about Genius Invocation TCG, then please ask Shuyan, who will ask Prince. Though I'd love to explain more myself, it's time for my daily walk. I'll let Prince play a game with you and walk you through all the rules.
Just as a seasoned warrior can foresee the path of his opponent's sword, so too can I, as a TCG master, predict my opponent's every play. It would be improper to pit a newcomer to the art of the card against one such as myself, and I must therefore politely decline. That's what Prince said.
Oh, Prince doesn't want to play with us, huh? Fine, then Prince doesn't have to. We'll play you instead.
I'm sorry, but from the day I met the mighty cardmaster Prince, I swore an oath that my hands would live solely to hold the cards and not to play them. I will never play another match of my own again.
If Prince is unwilling to play, then I guess we should look for an alternative. How about this? Diona!
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. What is it? I'm pretty busy over here, you know. Huh. Why is it that every player that sets foot in here to play Genius Invocation TCG has to have a drink? Ugh! Don't they have any clue that the key to playing a game is the ability to think straight? Seriously, games and drinks don't mix. Don't they get that? Ugh!
What can I say? As the tavern owner, I can't help but feel happy to hear this. Anyway, I see you've been working hard, so I thought you could use a break. So why not come over here and teach these customers the rules of Genius Invocation?
Ha! Ha ha! Yeah, what kind of break is that? I'd rather not. Oh, why are we letting all these loafers come in here to play Genius Invocation TCG anyway? All it does is encourage more people to come to the bar for a drink. You know, if drink sales keep going up like this, pretty soon Mondstadt's alcohol industry is gonna reach new heights. Huh. Looks like my first step in destroying Mondstadt's alcohol industry should be stamping out the spread of Genius Invocation TCG.
My dear, you are quite mistaken. You said it yourself, a clear mind is necessary to win. Soon, their thirst for victory will overcome their thirst for alcohol. Prince speaks the truth, Diona. Not only is the spread of Genius Invocation TCG no obstacle to your goal of destroying Mondstadt's alcohol industry, it could even support you in this endeavor.
Could it really?
Sure, why not? Alrighty then. Our 2 customers are waiting to learn. Shuyan, let's put you on drink mixing duty for now.
But Shu Yan is destined for a far greater purpose.
Shuyan, drink mixing, now.
Okay.
Ooh, all right. We'll need some space to learn. Let's go to that empty table over there. Okay, let's go through the rules. First things first. You'll be needing your deck, so place that on the table.
Deck?
Yes? You should have built a deck. You know, a set of cards that meets the bare minimum requirement to play the game. What's with the blank stares? Come on. Don't tell me you came to learn Genius Invocation TCG without bringing any cards. Yeah, we need a practice deck. Can't you just let us use one? Psh, there's no such thing. Okay, let me think. To learn the game, you'll need at least 2 character cards to switch between. Oh, that reminds me. A few days ago when I was closing up for the night, I noticed a customer had left a couple of character cards on the bar counter. Maybe you could use those for now.
Are you sure that's okay?
It's already been a few days and he still hasn't come back to claim them. Who knows? Maybe he left them here on purpose. Oh, okay, yeah, I got them here with me. You know, just in case the customer came looking for them. Yeah, not because I like to play the game or anything. Please. All right, so now we have 2 character cards. That's everything we need, right? Yep. So, are you ready to start? Okay. I guess I'll get things set up on the table first. Once you're ready, we can get started.
We should start learning how to play Genius Invocation TCG.
You have not yet attained the status of official TCG players. First, master the rules and hone your skills. Then, and only then, may you come and challenge me. Yes, heed Prince's words. Besides, I need to keep mixing drinks for now. If you wait until I'm free, I can have Prince explain more for you.
Hmm. Hmm.
You have not. Yes, he.
Bet you can't keep up with me.
Everything's set up. Let's learn how to play Genius Invocation TCG. Sure. Just let me know once you're ready. But don't keep me waiting too long. Everything's set up. Let's learn how to play Genius Invocation TCG. All right, let's get started. Welcome to the world of Genius Invocation TCG. Simply put, this is a game where you control character cards to duke it out with your opponent. Pew, pew, pew! Once you've defeated all of your opponent's character cards, victory shall be yours! Now then, you're gonna need a character on the field to start with.
Let's finish this, swiftly.
First, we roll 8 elemental dice at the start of every round. These dice correspond to elemental energy. We'll be spending these dice to perform actions. Once the roll phase is over, you'll enter the action phase, where the real game starts. During the action phase, you can spend elemental dice to perform various actions. Of course, the most common action is to use character skills. Not bad. You just made your first attack. During the action phase, both sides will take turns making their moves. After you use a skill to attack your opponent, it's their turn to attack. And as you can see, Once the enemy finishes their move, it's our turn again. Now, these are Omni-Element dice. They can be spent on any move regardless of the elemental type. So, we're gonna use them to pay for the pyro dice needed for this skill. Go on, give it a try.
Ha!
That was pretty good. That's one opponent down for the count. Bam! But the game has only just begun. Remember? You have to defeat all opponents to win. As much as we'd like to attack again, it seems like we've run out of usable dice. In that case, let's end this round. After you end round, you won't be able to do anything else this round. And once everyone chooses end round, we can move on to the next round. All right, here we are, a fresh new round. Woohoo! And a fresh new round means time to roll the dice again. That's how we're gonna get the elemental energy we need, after all. Ooh, that's some terrible luck. Well, there's no way we'll be able to use Diluc's skill now. But don't worry, situations like these are why we have the option to reroll. Once per round, you can select all the dice that you don't like and reroll them. When the action phase begins, the player who first chose end round in the previous round takes their turn first. This means that since you finished first the last round, you'll be the first to start this round. Alrighty then, let's learn a little bit about energy and elemental bursts. Each time you use a skill, your character will gain 1 energy. Once Diluc's energy is full, he can use a powerful elemental burst, but we're still 1 short. Never mind, let's start with a normal attack instead. Diluc's normal attack only needs 1 pyro die. In any case, your normal attack needs fewer pyro dice than your elemental skill. When the action phase begins, the player who first chose end round in the previous round takes their turn first. This means that since you finished first the last round, you'll be the first to start this round. Alrighty then, let's learn a little bit about energy and elemental bursts. Each time you use a skill, your character will gain 1 energy. Once Diluc's energy is full, he can use a powerful elemental burst. But we're still 1 short. Never mind, let's start with a normal attack instead. Diluc's normal attack only needs 1 pyro die and 2 other dice of any type. In any case, your normal attack needs fewer pyro dice than your elemental skill. Now we have 3 energy, plus we have enough pyro elemental dice left over. It's time to use your powerful elemental burst!
Burn!
In an actual game of Genius Invocation TCG, you need to use multiple character cards to form a party. Next up, it's time for your second character card, Kaya, to take the stage. It seems like any move by Kaya is going to cost quite a lot of cryo dice. When you deal cryo damage, you'll cause your target to be affected by cryo.
Freeze!
Good! Now our opponent is affected by cryo. This is a good time to learn about elemental reactions. Different types of elemental damage affect enemies with different elements. When a character is affected by certain elemental combos, an elemental reaction will be triggered. At the moment, your opponent is affected by cryo, so we should try and use a pyro skill on them. Looks like we have to switch active characters, though. Oh, that reminds me. Both sides must have 1 active character, while others are considered standby characters. Normally, we can only use the active character skills. Now, if we want to use the skills of our standby character, we'll have to switch them to the active character. In this case, we'll have to switch to Diluc in order to use his skills. You can spend 1 elemental die of any kind to switch a standby character to the active character.
Let's go.
Switching characters is an action just like using a skill. So once it's done, it's your opponent's turn. Most skills can only target the active character. As you can see, your opponent just attacked Diluc. Alright then, now that Diluc is our active character, it's time to use his skill. Because the opponent is already affected by Cryo, dealing pyro damage triggers the Melt Elemental reaction. When triggered, Melt increases damage dealt by 2. This will allow you to deal loads of damage in one go! Genius Invocation's elemental reaction system is pretty cool, huh? All right! Next up, let's learn how to use card types other than character cards. These cards are all known as action cards. Each time a match starts, you have to draw 5 action cards to form your starting hand. Uh-oh. Looks like we don't have any elemental dice we can spend to make an attack. Seriously? We still don't have any usable dice even after that reroll? Well, never mind. Even in cases like this, we can still attack. We just need to put the action cards in our hand to good use. Don't underestimate action cards. They can grant all kinds of support and buffs to your active character. Take this one, for example. So playing this action card will require 2 of these. See the symbol? Yeah, that means you'll need to play elemental dice of the same type. Some other cards will cost you these instead. The cost requirements for these are much more lenient. You can spend any kind of elemental dice. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, though. For now, just play this action card. So, playing an action card from your hand is a form of fast action. Fast actions do not end your current turn. Simply put, you can continue to act even after playing an action card. Well then, you have your blade. Time to test it out. But wait, Diluc's elemental skill costs 3 pyro dice, and right now, we don't even have 1. Well, not a problem. This is where we can use a more advanced mechanic known as elemental tuning. By discarding 1 card from your hand, you can convert 1 elemental die into the element of your current active character. And this card isn't useful right now, so we might as well use it for elemental tuning. sometimes you won't be able to perform any actions you want to because you didn't roll the elemental dice you wanted. Oh well. Moving on. In Genius Invocation TCG, keeping up a constant flow of combat is much more important than the number of cards you have. In this case, well, let's just take all these useless cards and use them for elemental tuning. Just like playing cards from your hand, elemental tuning is a fast action. Come on, hurry up! Use elemental tuning to get yourself 3 pyro dice. Well, would you look at that? Finally, we now have enough elemental dice to use Searing Onslaught. Because you have the White Iron Greatsword equipped, Searing Onslaught will deal 1 extra damage! What? Now comes the final part! Hoo-yeah! In a real match, you can make adjustments to your initial hand. At this time, we can select any number of cards in our hand to shuffle back into the draw pile, and then draw the same number of new cards. What? Once you have confirmed any adjustments you wish to make to your starting hand, both players have to select their starting active character at the same time. Oh boy, this one's a real doozy. We gotta take it out pronto. Let's see how you do this time. Remember, start by selecting your initial starting character.
This will be interesting.
Hey, look at you! You sure are getting the hang of these rolls. Now let me teach you one last trick, free of charge. You can preview your opponent's actions. That is to say, you can read their intent. Check it out. So here's where you can see all your opponent's intentions for this round. All your opponent's intended actions for the round will be listed here in order. Reference this to come up with effective countermeasures and easily defeat your opponents. Well then, that's the end of the tutorial. You're on your own from here. May victory be yours!
Dodge this!
Wait. There's one more thing I almost forgot. Every time you hit an end phase, you get to draw 2 cards from your action cards pile. Remember, you have to make use of both your elemental dice and your action cards to win.
Let's go.
Ha!
Ready when you are.
All right, cool. Those are the basics. Did you get all that? What we just played was an adventure challenge designed specially for new players. Genius Invocation TCG can be played in duel mode, where each player brings 3 character cards, or in adventure challenge mode, with a fixed deck for each challenge. But the rules are all the same. As long as you understand the basics, then you should be able to take on any of those rowdy booze hounds.
Although I feel there are still many details to grasp, I think I understand the basic premise of the game now.
That was quite the detailed explanation. I didn't know the Cat's Tail's famous mixologist had such an eclectic skill set.
What? Oh, when did you get here?
I stepped in while you were in the middle of your explanation. I hope I didn't dampen the mood.
You have slow reactions. Wait, are you copying me? Shut up. Anyway, what are you doing here?
The Cat's Tail is a player in Mondstadt's alcohol industry. Naturally, you have some collaboration with my winery. I'm here today to discuss a few items of business with Margaret.
Too bad she just left. But if you head off right now, you might still catch up with her.
Never mind, it's nothing urgent. In fact, I think I'm now more interested in this card that you're using to teach them the game.
Wait, this card? It's Diluc's character card!
Although I have some degree of experience with Genius Invocation TCG, seeing this particular card is a first for me.
A customer left it behind a few days ago, but he wasn't even playing the game while he was here.
Oh? And what sort of a customer was he?
He wasn't wearing an eye patch, okay? He had a light complexion and a super serious look on his face. He wasn't much of a talker and looked like he was just drinking his worries away. Never seen him around here before.
Eye patch, you say?
Gah! I was trying to give the opposite description, but I just ended up giving it away. Sorry, guard captain.
Don't worry. Somehow, I don't think he'll be giving you any trouble over it.
So, what about the Diluc character card?
I don't mind. It's just a card with my image on it.
I didn't expect Diluc to be familiar with Genius Invocation TCG.
The game has been catching on lately. It's hard to go anywhere without hearing it mentioned. Every now and then, I'll sit down and play a game with the customers in Angel's Share. I was hoping we could play a game, but this issue of someone leaving a character card with my image of the cat's tail is very intriguing. It's getting late, and someone has some explaining to do. We'll have to have that duel another time. Good. Then I'll take my leave.
You know where the door is. Don't let the door hit ya where Lord Barbados split ya. Uh-oh. Guard captain.
I hope Kaya will be all right. Well, now that we are familiar with the rules, why don't we try playing a game of Genius Invocation TCG?
Ooh, 2 new players having their first ever duel. This sounds like fun. But in order to play an official duel, you need to have 3 character cards. Remember, a complete deck has to have 3 character cards and 30 action cards. Got it?
Then, let's use my cards. These were mixed in with all the others I had received. And I didn't know what they were for at first. But now that we've learned the rules, I can see that this one must be the Sucrose character card. Now, it looks like we each have the Kaya, Diluc, and Sucrose character cards. So why don't we have our first duel? Take your time. I look forward to our first duel.
I'll race you there.
You have not yet attained the status of a... Yes, he...
Whew, let's see how you and Sucrose get along in your duel. Now, I trained you myself, so you better not go down without a fight, okay? Huh, what? Well, yeah. I suppose I did train Sucrose too. Huh.
Ready for our duel? Sure. Even though it's just a game, it's important to be fully prepared. In that case, I think I'll go over the card stats again. Ready for our duel? All right, let the duel begin!
Unlike the adventure challenge you tried previously, duels are true tests of strength between two players. In a duel, your opponent can also use action cards, and they'll also be able to grab new cards during an end phase. At the same time, your opponent must also spend elemental dice to take actions, so you'll be unable to view their intent. Are you ready? It's time for some exhilarating fights to the bitter end. Musa!
Let's go. Ah!
Absorption test. Absorption test.
Dodge this!
Animo hypostasis emulation.
This will be interesting.
Freeze! Ah! Cool it!
Darn. I didn't factor that into the equation. My research... Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Oh, so sorry. Freeze!
There can be no excuse or defeat.
I can't believe I lost when we had the exact same character cards. The rules must be more complicated than I first thought. Every decision is a difficult trade-off in this game. If there was only a way to transplant the arms of the two standby characters onto the active character's body.
That's not how the rules work, Sucrose. Don't be a sore loser. That kind of thing is looked down on in TCG circles.
Oh, I am sorry. I was beaten fair and square. I know that. I just can't stand losing. But it was a fun match.
Paimon didn't know you could get so competitive, Sucrose.
I always get a little upset when I lose. It's like that with my research, too. It always gets to me when my experiments don't go as planned. Especially when there's an alchemy genius like Albedo around to compare myself to.
You lost me at alchemy and experiments. But I'm pretty sure it's normal to feel that way. Playing cards is no different. Each game you lose makes you want to win the next one to settle the score. And the desire to win pushes you to improve your strategy and build a better deck. Seizing victory through a winning combination of luck, skill, and experience is where all the fun of Genius Invocation lies.
But what if you keep trying and never win a single game?
A losing streak, yeah. That'll definitely get you down. But it's way better to keep trying until you win than to just accept you're a plain old loser and give up.
You make a good point, Diona.
Besides, Sucrose, you're already making great progress. It'd take at least 8 of our regular booze hounds to match your level. You played well this last match.
Thank you. I'm just a little disappointed to lose, that's all. But Genius Invocation TCG is a really fun game.
Good! Having fun is the main thing. If you ever want to play again in the future, feel free to come by the Cat's Tail. But don't expect me to play with you. I just mean, this place probably has the right atmosphere.
I'll definitely be back.
All right. I think you should have all the basics down by now. I need to get back to bartending. Shiyan's likely been busy making his tavern more popular with his delicious cocktails. Pui, pui, pui. And we can't have that. Huh. Burning Mondstadt's wine industry to the ground keeps me pretty busy, you know. So if you need any more help, go bother Shiyan. I have to make drinks for the customers now. If you've got any more questions about Genius Invocation TCG, you can go ask Shiyan. He's over there.
I see. So you have now grasped the rules of Genius Invocation TCG.
That's right! The Traveler, Sucrose, and Paimon are TCG players now! Paimon picked it up from watching you and Sucrose.
Becoming a TCG player is not as simple as that. You cannot call yourselves true TCG players until you have passed the test. Sobering words from Prince there. But I'm afraid he's right. To become official players recognized by the Genius Invocation TCG Society, you have to pass the test. It's just a tabletop card game. I'm not sure how you would plan on achieving something like that. Basically, to become an official and recognized TCG player, you have to best 3 opponents in a duel.
So, you have to win 3 duels against 3 different opponents?
The duel you just played can count towards this tally. I agree. Although I didn't get to observe the match myself, I did listen along, and from what I could hear, you both performed at a rather high level.
Same way you can hear what Prince says?
A well-trained ear is a basic skill expected of anyone hoping to become a TCG master. But back to the matter at hand. The Traveler only needs to beat 2 more opponents to become an official TCG player. Sucrose, you may have lost the last duel, but don't be disheartened. I can assure you that winning 3 games is well within your ability. But first things first, Shuyen. Before that, our TCG newcomers should receive their free gift. Ah, yes, my goodness. Completely slipped my mind. I'm lucky to have Prince here to remind me. Everyone who wants to start playing Genius Invocation TCG is entitled to claim a free casket of tomes.
Oh, Timaeus mentioned it, didn't he? It was from the light novels he's been reading. The thing that the main character found in his attic.
Oh, that's right! The soul of an ancient TCG player was trapped inside, right? So the casket of tomes is actually real?
Well, actually, all card cases in Genius Invocation TCG are called caskets of tomes. Not only do they provide a reliable and sturdy container to store your decks, they can also sense when other people in the area are also carrying a casket of tomes with them.
Oh, Paimon can guess what you're gonna say next. The reason they can sense each other is because they have the souls of ancient TCG players inside.
That would mean an extraordinarily high number of people in history have been turned into disembodied souls as a consequence of playing card games. No. The real reason that it can sense other caskets is because it holds a nifty little mechanism invented by Sumeru's scholars.
Darn, what a letdown. All right, now let's see this casket of tomes already.
All caskets of tomes are issued by Margaret, so you will need to see her to claim yours. Probably for the best. If Prince and I were responsible for handing them out, knowing how eager we both are to promote the game, we'd probably have dished them all out by now. Okay, so go and see Margaret to claim your casket of tomes, use it to find another player, beat them in a duel, and then come back here.
But even for the Traveler, that's only 2 wins in total. What about the last one?
I shall choose the final contestant he must beat in order to become an official TCG player, for it must be one of comparable prowess. Excellent plan, Prince. Happy dueling, both of you. Go, claim your casket of tomes, seize victory, and become a TCG champion. Prince seems to have high hopes for you.
Let me guess. You're here to order a drink. Huh. Oh, it's you! So, how are your Genius Invocation matches going? You need to win 3 matches to become an official TCG player? Oh Now you mention it, I remember there being some sort of rule about that. Why'd they have to make it so competitive? It's just a game. Why can't people just have fun? I'll never understand why grown-ups have to put a bunch of stupid rules on everything.
Prince seems to have.
You need to win through.
Hello, you three. Has little Diona finished teaching you the rules of Genius Invocation? Ah, I see you're here for your casket of tomes, aren't you? A very useful tool indeed.
So this is a casket of tomes.
That's right, a purpose-built case for your card deck that can even detect when someone else nearby is carrying one. Gosh, whoever invented this must have seriously disliked being alone.
Yeah, well, even the most fun game is pretty lonely if you got no one else to play it with.
True. So I'm glad that these customers, TCG players, are able to congregate at the Cat's Tail. You're not wrong, but that's secondary. The important thing to me is the opportunity for like-minded people to come together and enjoy their favorite hobby. It creates a nice atmosphere. Anyway, now that you have your caskets of tomes, it's time to find some opponents.
All right. In that case, I'll go find some people to play against too. Let's meet back at the Cat's Tail in a while. Thanks. I'll do my best.
There's a player nearby! That way! Let's go see! Aha! It's you!
I'm sorry. Is there anything I can assist the two of you with?
We want to become official Genius Invocation TCG players! But we have to pass the test first, so we need to beat 3 players in a duel. Our casket of tomes led us to you!
Oh, I see. Unfortunately, I'm on duty right now. Are you quoting the Knights of Favonius handbook at me? So be it. Then let the duel begin. If you're ready, let's not drag this out. I'm supposed to be standing guard. If you're ready,
This will be interesting.
Freeze! Dodge this! Gosh, I lost. You're remarkably good at this, considering how new to the game you are. Let's play again when you have some time. But ideally, not when I'm on duty.
We did it! Now we have 2 victories under our belt. Let's get back to the cat's tail. Paimon wonders who Prince is gonna pick as our final contestant.
Everyone can come take a look. There will definitely be something that catches your eyes.
I sensed that he had what it took to become an official TCG player, but he has returned to the tavern more quickly than I had expected. Defeat the opponent I have arranged for you, and you shall become an official TCG player. I look forward to watching this game immensely. Not just Prince. I can't wait either. Come, your opponent is waiting for you in one of the private rooms.
He won't lose to them, whoever it is. Right, Traveler?
What ho, fellow voyager of the stellar void! Yes, even I was briefly discountenanced when I heard the tidings of your sworn oath to become the thrice victorious. But so be it. You who are enslaved by dueling desire, be released from your shackles into the glorious arena of gladiatorial combat. Step forth, O brave challenger! Your princessin grants you an audience. Hearken well. The wretched clock chimes yet again, as the declining light of the day grows dimmer still.
Pardon my directness, but we have not been waiting that long. Mein Fräulein could afford to be a little less impatient.
Huh? Paimon knows those voices.
Your opponent sounds anxious to begin. Do not delay. That's what Prince said. Please enter and enjoy your Genius Invocation TCG Duel. The Traveler shows greater skill than most beginners, but Fischl displays greater prowess still. Oh, you really think so? I think the Traveler has the edge personally.
It's Fischl and Oz!
Who else but the Prinzessin? For, as the name of this hallowed rite suggests, only when the wisest of heroes is summoned can the Master of Cards hope to be crowned the champion. This path is a treacherous one. It must be tread with great caution, for eternal doom and damnation are but one wrong step away at any given moment. That is why none is more suited to appear in this audience chamber than the Prinzessin, whose Aug de Verurtelung des großen Kaleidophantasmus has witnessed 10,000 battles across 3,000 worlds.
Oh, is that right?
Indeed. Main Fräulein has watched many games of Genius Invocation TCG, and has gained a solid grasp of the rules. Even in a duel between beginners, it is best that both participants are well versed in them.
Oh, that's true. Ah, this makes sense now. Prince did say that he was gonna pair us with someone of a similar skill level. Guess that means Fischl hasn't been playing that long either.
The Prinzessin needed but a single glance at these mere machinations of mankind to discern their working principles. Thus, with speed and brilliance paralleled by lightning alone, do I now arrive here at the gateway to yonder circle of secrets.
Main Fräulein, too, has bested 2 opponents thus far, and is therefore one step away from becoming an official TCG player.
So there's a lot on the line, huh? Either Fischl or the Traveler is gonna come out of this duel as an official TCG player!
Indeed.
The Prinzessin herself heeds the call of fate and descends to this realm from the Immanakreich. Yet still you dare to doubt the inevitability of the inevitable. Your stubborn foolishness is contemptible.
Main Fräulein, I implore you to consider less odious turns of phrase, lest you be forced to feast on your words in the fullness of time.
What? I shall not lose, Oz! What say you, Outlander? Do you wish to make an enemy of me, the Prinzessin de Verurtelung, who even now begins to strum the strings of fate that shall sound out the traveler's requiem? Oh, do you? How disappointing. But then again, for one accustomed to the petty burdens of this lowly realm, to challenge the Prinzessin is a load under which most mere mortals would crumble. I ask you once again, Outlander, do you wish to make an enemy of me? Very well. I will ask you again when the time comes. But be warned, should you seek to flee when the hour of the battle draws nigh, I shall show you no mercy. I ask you once again, Outlander, do you wish to make an enemy of me? Then it is time to see what you are made of.
Ready when you are.
Freeze!
Animo test 6308.
Let's finish this, swiftly.
Ha!
Ready when you are.
Dodge this! I'm not done.
This is but a small sacrifice necessary to achieve ultimate victory.
Main Fräulein.
What happened? Oz, with lightning twixt upper and lower mandible, strike thy pointy beak into this obstacle and remove it from my path!
Main Fräulein, I cannot simply attack the traveler.
Let's go.
Get out of here!
Ha!
Ugh. Couldn't break the curse.
Impossible! Ugh! The cursed dragon looms near once more, casting its dark shadow on the slender threads of fate, hiding them from my vision. Traveler, was even this part of your plan?
What a truly ingenious plot, and what an exciting duel to witness.
Congratulations! You've won 3 duels now. That makes you an official TCG player.
Yeah! Oh, Sucrose, you're back! Does that mean...
Yep. I've won 2 games so far. When I got back, I heard you were in the middle of your final duel, so I came over to watch.
Nice! Sucrose won too as well! Great work!
It seems I am forced to admit, fellow voyager of the stellar void, that your mastery of the cards is second to none. To commemorate your glorious ascent to a battlefield beyond this lowly mortal realm, I grant thee an incarnation of my majesty in miniature. As you embark on this ingenious vocation, may you wield it in battle against all your fated foes, that not a single one of them may be left standing.
Main Fräulein wishes to give you a Main Fräulein character card.
Wow, it's Fischl's character card!
'Tis a mere token of such. To the victor of this splendid duel is a boon of commensurate splendor due.
Oh, excuse me, ma'am. I am also a beginner who has won 2 games so far. Might I also have the honor of joining you in a duel? If you would be willing, of course.
Nothing would delight me more. I hereby grant you permission to join me in performing the hallowed rite of Genius Invocation.
One other thing. When I got back, Prince and Shuyan said there was something they needed to give you if you managed to become an official TCG player.
No card game in the world has a card like that! Paimon bets it's some kind of prize for making it as an official TCG player! Let's go get our prize!
With 3 Electro Dice, I summon my eternal familiar, Osvaldo Hrafnavine, to my side. Heed my invocation!
But, Main Fräulein, I have been by your side all along.
I mean in the game, Oz.
Then, I'll use Chaotic Entropy to invoke a large wind spirit that deals increased damage when it carries an element other than Animo. So...
Oh, so be it. One shall not be swayed by such a feeble attack.
Ah, so it was you who won the duel in the end. I knew you'd do it. Congratulations! You are now officially recognized members of the Genius Invocation TCG community. Very well done. Now, I will explain to you what becoming an official TCG player entails. The first thing all new official TCG players receive is their TCG Player's Handbook. This handbook tells you exactly what you need to do to become a top-tier TCG player. Make sure you read it. Secondly, a range of Genius Invocation merchandise is now available for you to purchase here at the Cat's Tail. So you see, becoming an official TCG player is really just the first step. And thirdly, whenever you wish to play a game with a friend, you can use the invitation board there. Whoever you wish to duel against, simply invite them to the tavern for a game. Yes, it's right by the bar counter. Once you get the hang of it, you can play with your friends whenever you want. That's it, really. If there's anything else you didn't quite understand, you can always come and ask me. Yes, indeed, I'm quite sure they will. Oh, sorry, I forgot to translate for you. Prince would like to say, hope you have fun playing Genius Invocation TCG.
Isn't that Tabby? What's she doing in the cat's tail? Tabby!
Ah, it's you two.
What are you doing here? Wait, and how did you get out of the Serena teapot? You can do that?
Of course I can. Ah, but this is your first time seeing me outside of the teapot realm, isn't it? Although the Adepti created teapot spirits primarily to manage and maintain their teapot realms, our movements are not restricted to those domains. For instance, there's Jade Seeker, who travels far and wide to gather the rarest treasures in the land. But it is true that I, in contrast, rarely leave the teapot realm at all.
Ah, Paimon gets it now. Huh. Well, since you so rarely leave, what's the occasion today?
Indeed not, although it may surprise you to learn that the reason I was sent here still has to do with the card game. And as it happens, it has something to do with the Traveler, too. Well, as I'm sure you've discovered, with the rising popularity of Genius Invocation TCG, inviting a friend to a duel in the tavern has become a fun way to pass the time. There's just one little problem. Many invitees currently have to travel an enormous distance to get here, turning the whole thing into quite an ordeal. I have therefore been sent here to create a little game room using the same Adeptus art as is used to construct teapot realms. That way, anyone with an invitation will need only to think the thought, and they will instantly appear in the game room. You will be free to use the room whenever you wish to invite a friend to duel, and it will be far more straightforward for them to take you up on the offer.
Wow! This'll make things much easier! But what if Margaret finds out? She's not gonna get mad at you for renovating her tavern with your Adeptus arts, is she?
That shouldn't be a problem, since the realm will not be physically located within the cat's tail. Besides, we obviously sought the owner's permission in advance. She was quite enthusiastic. Oh, Liyue's Adepti arts sound pretty useful. Could you double the size of the tavern while you're at it? Unfortunately, my mastery of Adeptus arts is not sufficient to achieve this.
Huh. Yeah, that does sound like something Margaret would say.
Anyway, it's great that you're here. I was expecting to have to wait until your next visit to the Teapot Realm to fill you in. Right then, let's get started. Okay, that should do it. Over to you. Now you can invite friends to duel with you in this room wherever in the world they are. I hope it serves you well. Oh, and I almost forgot. A guy from the tavern wanted me to say this to you. Hope you will have fun playing Genius Invocation TCG.
It's been a while since we last played cards at the Cat's Tail. Wonder how Diona's doing. Well, since we have some time on our hands, let's go check up on her.
What a disaster. I didn't even make it through the qualifiers. How'd you do?
I didn't do any better. I was beaten by that little Timmy kid. I've only ever seen him out there feeding pigeons. No clue how he got to be such a good card player.
The next round's starting soon, right? Let's head over and watch the matches. I'm curious to see who'll win the grand prize.
Did you hear that? A grand prize! Sounds like they were talking about a card competition. They must be talking about Genius Invocation TCG. Should be, but let's go ask Diona for details.
Come take a look. There will definitely be something that catches your eye.
Take your pick. You'll find no second-rate items at Wang.
Can't you give me a better price?
Gosh, when you're
all
high
I
up,
can think
everyone
about
can
is
hear your
Diluc.
voice.
Wait, what? Am I seeing double? Do you have two tails?
Your eyes are working just fine. Yes, I have 2 tails. You want to pet them?
Wow, does it hurt when your tail splits into two? Which one did you grow first? Oh, and what do you do when they start moving around while you're asleep?
Oh, well,
Oh, sorry if those were tricky questions. I've just never seen anyone with two tails before. Who's Diona chatting with? From her outfit, Paimon would guess she's probably from Inazuma.
oh, don't worry, kid. I'm sure you'll be growing a couple of tails of your own in no time.
Huh? You think I could grow two tails as well?
Sure, you're a yokai too, right? Your yokai power must be really strong if you can already take on human form. I was just climbing a tree one day when another tail popped out, just like that. People started calling me, Nekomata, I think?
Yokai? Nekomata? No. You got it all wrong. My ears and tail are part of my cat's line bloodline.
Oh, so you're not a Mondstadt yokai?
Mondstadt doesn't have anything like yokai. Is this your first time here?
Yep. Fortunately for me, the company I work for has been expanding, so I'm now getting the opportunity to travel to cities all over Teyvat. Oh, it's been such a pleasure chatting with you that I almost lost track of time. I'd better get going, or I'll be late for my next customer. Diona of the Quetzline clan, your pickup is complete. Thank you for choosing Komania Express.
Great. Feel free to come hang out anytime. Do only yokai have tails in Inazuma? Hey, Diona! Oh, Traveler and Paimon! Hey, what brings you back to Mondstadt? Well, we figured it's been a while since we visited the Catstail, so we thought we'd come and say hi. Oh, and by the way, who was that just now? Oh, she's a courier from Komania Express. They're an international delivery service operating out of Inazuma. Huh? Is the Catstail doing international business now? No. A customer left some goods with us and arranged for Komania Express to pick them up. That's all. I didn't mind. You've been to Inazuma, right? Did you, see lots of yokai like her there? Right! But this is actually the first time we've ever seen one with two tails. Whoa! I'd love to go see for myself one day. Anyway, what were you two here for again? Did you need me for something? Oh, yeah! Paimon almost forgot. Do you know anything about a Genius Invocation TCG tournament? Apparently there's prizes and stuff. A tournament? Oh, you must mean the one being organized by the Adventurers Guild. It's a pretty big event. They even had posters imported from Inazuma. But I'm busy with things here, so I didn't sign up. I don't know all the details. Maybe try asking my boss. Got it. Well, with any luck, we'll win some more, and then we'll treat you to some yummy food. Huh. What do you mean, luck? I'm the one who taught you how to play, after all. That's meow like it. Okay, you two should probably get going now. Head to the Fountain Plaza. My boss usually takes a walk around there at this time of day. All right, we'll go there right away. Hey, Margaret. We thought we might find you here.
Oh, if it isn't the Traveler and Paimon. It's been a while, hasn't it? Let me guess. Back to play some cards?
It's not like we only ever come back to Mondstadt to play cards.
Oh, really? I just assumed you were here to take part in the King of Invocation's Grand Prix.
King of Invocation's Grand Prix? Oh, that must be the Adventurers Guild one that Diana mentioned.
That's the one. Genius Invocation TCG has been attracting more and more players lately. The Adventurers Guild arranged for venues in every city to hold a regional tournament for the King of Invocation's Grand Prix. The rewards are quite substantial. Mondstadt is already at the final stage, so I'm afraid you might be a little too late to get that prize.
Really? Oh, darn! We already promised Diana we'd treat her to some food with the Moro we won.
It's all right. There's bound to be a next time. This card game came out of nowhere and has already taken the world by storm. Who knows where it'll go next? The game's creators must be ecstatic with all this success, don't you think? It's unbelievably popular.
Yeah, and it only gets more fun the more people there are to play it with.
Well, you may have missed the boat on the official event, but there's also an unofficial tourney organized by some players. Would that interest you at all?
Unofficial tourney?
That's right. With all the excitement surrounding the main tournament, players can hardly contain their enthusiasm, so they've set up an unofficial tourney aimed at a larger player base. You can sign up at any time and play however many matches you want. They even have pre-built decks for players to use. Oh, and the rewards are pretty generous too.
Ooh, Paimon likes the sound of this. Thanks for the info, Margaret. We'll go check it out.
You're welcome. There are plenty of booths at the venue offering food and other fun activities, so it's definitely worth a visit. Who knows? You might even bump into some old friends there. Right. If there's nothing else you needed, I'll be continuing my walk now.
Paimon still thinks that with your abilities, winning the grand prize in the official tournament would have been as easy as pie. Just imagine it. Honorary Knight defeats foes and emerges as tournament champion. The headline practically writes itself.
Do my ears deceive me? Or do you two have some breaking news to share with me?
Whoa! Who are you? And why the heck are you eavesdropping on us?
Oh, sorry. Force of habit. I tend to keep my ears peeled at all times. Didn't even realize I was listening in. Let me introduce myself. I'm Charlotte, a reporter for the Steambird from Fontaine. I've been posted here to cover the King of Invocation's Grand Prix.
The Steambird?
The Steambird is a major news outlet headquartered in Fontaine and widely acclaimed all over Tevat. We even have regular columnists based right here in Mondstadt.
Ooh, okay. Paimon's name is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. What was that you were saying about some breaking news?
Oh, looks like I've managed to pique your interest. Well, the truth is that my keen reporting senses are telling me that this competition will be chock full of huge news stories.
Huge news stories? You sure your senses are reliable?
Absolutely! After all, I've seen it with my own eyes. There's a criminal who's been slinking around the competition venue, and his name is the Card Snatcher.
Card Snatcher?
Mm-hmm. He stole his opponent's cards when they weren't looking. I was about to try and chase him down, but the next moment, he disappeared into thin air.
But why would someone want to steal other people's cards?
Whatever the truth of the matter, it's my job as a journalist to dig up all the gory details and turn them into my very own exclusive news piece. So, what do you think? Want to join me in my quest to uncover the sensational story that's hiding behind the scenes?
That does sound interesting, but why us? Any reason you singled us out in particular?
Are you kidding me? It's a no-brainer, considering you're the honorary knight who saved Mondstadt, the hero of Liyue who fought alongside the Adepti, a key player in the repealing of Inazuma's Sakoku Decree, and the redeemer of the Sumeru Academia.
Okay, point taken. Yeah, it seems like we've ended up making quite a big name for ourselves, huh? Yeah, kinda scary. Does she research all her new friends before meeting them for the first time?
I promise you, teaming up with me will be a great move for you. For starters, when my exclusive news article is published, you'll be credited as contributors. Not to mention that being in a news agency makes me pretty well connected. That'll come in real handy if you're ever traveling in Fontaine. And if you ever wanted to run an ad in the paper one day, no problem. I could make that happen.
That actually sounds genuinely useful. What do you think, Traveler?
Great! Then welcome to the news crew. I've heard that the Traveler always lends a helping hand, so it's nice to know that you live up to your reputation, but even nicer to experience it for myself. Now then, before we start investigating our card snatcher, I have one other small task to take care of first. That Mondstadt columnist who I mentioned earlier is a longtime favorite of the Steambird's readership. Management thought that a cash bonus was in order, so I brought it along with me.
Oh, so we're gonna go meet them now?
Yep, I have the address right here. We just need to make a slight detour to drop off the Mora, then we'll be on our way. I thought you would have figured out who it is I'm talking about by now. From what I've heard, you're quite well acquainted.
Oh, it's someone we know? That doesn't narrow it down much. We know lots of people in Mondstadt. Never mind, just lead the way, Charlotte. Who could it be?
Today's recommendation is the steak.
Which should I choose?
One of your rich friends, I'd assume. After all, you gotta be pretty well off to live in the city, right?
The neighboring nation of Liyue has the most prosperous commercial port in all.
That still doesn't really narrow it down. We know lots of people with lots of Mora.
Wow, I guess being a national hero earns you friends in high places.
When you're high up, everyone can hear your voice. That's more like it.
Here we are. Wait here a moment. I'll go hand over the cash.
Huh? Oh, so it's...
Who is it? Can I help you? Oh, Traveler and Paimon, what brings you here? And I'm sorry, I don't believe we've...
You must be Mona Magistus, the astrologist. It's an honor to finally meet you. I'm Charlotte, a reporter from the Steambird. Your columns have been so well received by our readers lately that our management asked me to present you with this cash bonus.
She got Mona's full name and title right on her first try. She really does do her homework.
Ah, you must be Charlotte. Welcome, welcome. Please, just call me Mona. Gosh, this is a long way to come from Fontaine. I hope it wasn't too much trouble.
No trouble at all. It was on the way.
Wow, sounds like your articles are a real hit with readers all over Tibet, Mona.
Have I never told you? Well, I've been writing my column All Things Astrological for the Steambird for a long time now. The chief editor wrote me a while ago about the bonus. Thank goodness it's finally here. I was wondering when it would arrive. Thank you, Charlotte.
Huh, you make it sound like you really needed this. Are you pressed for money, Mona?
What? No, of course not. It's just that once I knew the bonus was coming, I reallocated some funds that I'd previously set aside for daily necessities and purchased some expensive equipment. That's all.
Classic Mona.
Aha! Perfect! Renowned astrologist, broken, starving. Do the stars really have all the answers? The article practically writes itself.
Oh, I beg your pardon?
Mona's actually super rich. It's just that astrology research is really expensive.
Super rich is a bit of a stretch. Anyway, enough about that. What brings you back to Mondstadt this time, Traveler and Paimon?
Here we are. Wait here a moment. I'll go hand over the cash.
Huh? Oh, so
Who is it? Can I help you? Oh, Traveler and Paimon, what brings you here? And I'm sorry, I don't believe we've...
You must be Mona Magistus, the astrologist. It's an honor to finally meet you. I'm Charlotte, a reporter from the Steambird. Your columns have...
She got Mona's full name and title.
Ah, you must be Charlotte. Welcome, welcome.
No trouble at all.
Wow, sounds like your articles are a real hit with
Have I never told you? Well, I've been the chief editor.
Huh, you make it...
What? No,
Aha! Perfect! Renowned astrologist, broken, starving. Do the stars really have all the answers? The article practically writes itself.
Mona's actually super rich. It's just that astrology is really expensive.
Super rich is a bit of a stretch. Anyway, enough about that. What brings you back to Mondstadt this time, Traveler in Paimon?
Originally, we just came to catch up with a friend of ours. But some things have come up, and now we're helping Charlotte investigate the case of the Card Snatcher.
Speaking of which, will you be competing in the King of Invocation's Grand Prix? Where it is that the prizes are pretty stellar.
I'm much too busy with my research these days to dedicate time to a competition. Besides, even if I did enter, there's no guarantee I'd actually win a prize, is there?
Isn't there? I'd have thought you'd be certain to win with astrology on your side. You'd know all of your opponent's cards ahead of time.
What do you take me for? No self-respecting astrologist would dream of abusing their beloved art for such crude purposes. Besides, it wouldn't be fair to the other contestants.
Well said. Spoken like an accomplished academic and a conscientious citizen.
Well, yes, obviously. Anyway, if past precedent is anything to go by, you're the ones who ought to be wary of what's around the corner. Especially if you're chasing after this card snatcher, was it? Sounds like bad news. Shall I take a glance at what you're up against?
Thanks for the offer, but there's no need. Relying on your astrological skills for all the juicy details would make this story a Mona exclusive. But that's not quite the kind of exclusive report I'm going for here. But don't you worry. They call it investigative journalism for a reason. We journos have our ways.
All right, well, best of luck with your investigation, then. Thanks again for bringing the bonus, Charlotte. Do give my regards to the chief editor. I will, and yes, we should. I'll hold you to that.
I think it's about time we started heading to the competition venue. The Mondstadt Regional Final should be starting shortly.
All right! Paimon can't wait to find out who the finalists are!
Bet you can't keep up with me!
Wow! So this is the venue, huh? Seems pretty lively here.
Well, if it isn't the Traveler in Paimon, what a rare surprise. Did you really come all this way just to watch Timmy and me in the final?
Kaya? You made it to the finals? Wait, what about your work with the Knights of Livonius? You better not be slacking off again.
Hey, come on now. That's no way to talk to a friend. Naturally, I wouldn't have considered entering the competition were I not already on top of my work. Ah, enjoying a drink while playing a few rounds of cards. I can't think of a better way to relax outside of work, can you? Oh, just be sure not to tell Diona I said that.
Well, since you're in the competition, have you noticed anything suspicious going on so far? You know, like people stealing other players' cards and that kind of thing.
Stealing cards, you say? I'm afraid I haven't seen anything of that sort. Not while I've been playing, anyway. Why do you ask?
Well, we just ran into this journalist from Fontaine and she... Huh? Where'd Charlotte go? She was right here, wasn't she? Oh, I bet she snuck out to go find some tasty snacks for herself!
Journalist from Fontaine. Oh, you mean the one from the Steambird. I do recall seeing a Steambird reporter listed in the Knights of Favonius visitor log.
Yeah, that'll be her. She said that she saw a card snatcher at the tournament venue, so we're helping her investigate.
A card snatcher? How very interesting. But one question, Paimon. Are you sure that cards are really what this snatcher is after?
Huh? What makes you say that?
Hello, everyone! Your attention, please! The final is about to begin. Now, let's give a warm welcome to our 2 contestants.
Guess we'll have to leave it there. Let's continue this conversation another time. Don't worry. I will.
Go get him, Kaya! We'll see you in a bit! So, Traveler, who do you think is gonna win? Yeah, Kaya's quite the crafty one. He must have some tricks up his sleeve. Either way, whoever wins is bound to make headlines. Wait, speaking of headlines, isn't that Charlotte's job? Huh. Maybe she got caught up trying out all the delicious Mondstadt snacks. Let's go look for her.
I'll race you there. Bet you can't keep up with me.
I sure hope Timmy wins the finals. At least then I could say I lost to the champion.
I understand where you're coming from, but don't get your hopes up. It's gonna be tough for him to beat the cavalry captain.
You've got this, Captain Kaya. The Knights of Favonius are counting on you.
Everyone's quite fired up. Whew. It's even making me a little nervous.
I'm bringing my A game today, and I'm gonna win this thing.
Charlotte, what happened? You just disappeared without saying anything.
Oh, I just didn't want to bother you while you were catching up with your friend.
But Kaya's one of the finalists. Don't you want to interview him or something? You did say you were supposed to be covering the competition.
I could churn out that kind of soft news piece in 5 minutes if I had to. Personally, I'm more interested in those 2. From the moment things kicked off, they've been acting very strangely, like they're trying to stay out of sight. I'm sure they must be plotting something.
You mean there are 2 card snatchers?
Shh! Keep your voice down! We don't want to scare them off. We need to wait until we've got something concrete. Then we can use my camera to catch them in the act. Huh? Wait! Where'd the other guy go?
He's on the run!
After him!
Huh? You seem like you've done this before. Do you spy on people often?
Oh, you're too kind. You should see the celebrities in Fontaine, the lengths they'll go to try and avoid the public eye. Compared to that, this is nothing.
That wasn't supposed to be a compliment.
Going on an adventure?
He's heading toward Mondstadt's side gate. Let's follow him, but quietly. We mustn't let him spot us.
Have you heard about the chasm?
Useless.
Now he's heading away from the city! How long are we gonna follow him for? At this rate, we're gonna miss Kaya and Timmy's match!
Oh, there. Looks like he stopped. Let's sit tight and see what happens.
Why'd he come all the way out here? Is he gonna hide something? And now he's crouching down with his hands above his head. Wait! Treasure hoarders! He's in trouble! Quick! We need to rescue him!
Help! Someone save me!
What are the treasure hoarders doing so close to the city?
Can't fool me!
Eyes on me! Get him!
Ha! Yeah. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Huh? Ha, ha.
Are you all right?
Oh, thank goodness. I thought it was all over for me.
Those treasure hoarders, did you know them? It sure looked like they were here just for you.
Why would I know them? I was just out for a walk, minding my own business, and then the next thing I knew, I was surrounded.
Oh, really? Then why did they target you? It wouldn't be because of some dubious deal you were involved in at the tournament, would it?
A deal? I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, that's a shame. You see, I'm a journalist, and I just happened to snap a picture of you and one other individual in the middle of a deal back at the tournament. I was going to ask you for an interview, but that was before you caused all this trouble. And now you're feigning ignorance of the deal in question. Maybe I'm just wasting my time. Shall I just cut my losses and hand over the evidence to the Knights of Favonius?
Whoa! No, please. I'll talk. But you gotta believe me, there's nothing shady going on, I swear.
Wow, that was some serious bluffing on Charlotte's part. She didn't take any pictures at all.
Back at the tournament, I was approached by some random guy who said that he wanted to buy a card back off me. I said, okay, how much are you offering? And when he told me the amount, oh, my jaw practically hit the floor.
Really? What kind of card back was it?
Nothing special. I just picked it up at the general goods store. It had a treasure chest design on it. I only bought it because it was dirt cheap. This guy offered me 3 times what I paid for it and handed me the Mora right then and there. I could hardly believe my luck, so I decided to head somewhere less crowded and check the Mora was real. That's when I ran into the treasure hoarders.
Did you ask him why he wanted to purchase this item from you?
No, I didn't. Genius Invocation TCG has been getting pretty popular lately, and some people will pay good Mora to make their decks look flashy. It didn't strike me as that unusual. But after I gave him the card back, he let out a sigh of relief and said something about, that's all the Mondstadt ones. Next stop, Liyue.
or something like that.
Or something like that. He either said that or he didn't. How certain are you?
I'm positive. I know what I heard. Once the card was in his hands, he suddenly relaxed like a huge burden had been taken off his shoulders. It was genuine relief. Could that card back really be as valuable as he thought?
That I don't know, but in the interests of your personal safety, I suggest you report all of this to the Knights of Favonius. After all, you weren't doing anything against the law, were you?
Right? Yeah, no, that makes sense. I'll go speak to the Knights of Favonius right away.
It sounds like that guy's just collecting rare card backs. Are you sure this is the person you're after, Charlotte?
Well, it definitely doesn't add up. You really think someone out there is going from nation to nation, shelling out huge sums of money for a few card backs bought from a grocery store? My gut tells me that there's more to this story than the card back alone. This entire situation reeks of exclusive news.
Ooh, you mean someone like Albedo? That would explain why only some people understand the true value.
Who knows? But wherever this leads, we're definitely onto something. Even though I didn't manage to get a good look at his face, his physique and the way he moved were identical to the card snatcher I saw last time. I'm sure it's the same guy. He was much more discreet this time, though. I guess he didn't want to risk trying anything with so many potential witnesses around.
From the sounds of it, we need to head to Liyue next, right? Paimon can't wait! We have tons of friends in Liyue, too. But shouldn't we check in with Kaya before we leave? Paimon at least wants to find out who won the final.
Good idea. Let's go.
Boring!
I hereby declare the winner of the Mondstadt Regional Final of the King of Invocations Grand Prix is Timmy!
Wow, Timmy won! That's amazing!
I was beaten by the best. Timmy's a tough opponent. He had me on the back foot the entire time. It's all right. You don't need to comfort me. This must be the journalist from Fontaine you mentioned earlier. Charlotte, was it? Enchanté. I'm Kaya, cavalry captain of the Knights of Favonius. I trust you're enjoying your time in Mondstadt?
The pleasure is all mine. Mondstadt's reputation as the city of song and freedom is truly deserved. The mood here is simply delightful.
I'm glad you're liking it. Oh, by the way, I couldn't help but notice you all rushing towards the city's side gate earlier. Did you find something? I couldn't get it off my mind, even during the competition. I see.
So, it seems we have an answer to Kaya's question from earlier. What the card snatcher's really after is these card backs. But we still haven't figured out why he cares so much about them.
Well, while I'd love to accompany you all to Liyue Harbor, I'm afraid I still have my Knights of Favonius duties to attend to. In fact, our top priority right now is strengthening Mondstadt's defense. Treasure hoarder activity has been increasingly rampant lately.
Don't worry, we'll keep you in the loop if we find anything. In fact, if Charlotte's journalistic instinct is on point, you'll probably be reading her exclusive report in the Steambird before long.
Wonderful. Then I look forward to reading all about it.
Thanks for supporting quality journalism. Okay, let's take tonight off and head to Liyue Harbor tomorrow. It'll give me a chance to write down everything that's happened today.
Oh, Paimon wanted to ask. See the two people on this poster? Are they the inventors of Genius Invocation TCG? They look so young.
Maybe, but very little is known about either of them. Whether they've been living under a rock this whole time or just aren't interested in fame, I don't know. But hardly anybody has ever seen them.
The poster's probably just an artist's impression to capture the general look and feel of the duo. Beyond that, I doubt it's very true to life.
Sounds like they're a couple of socially reclusive scholars. If Paimon were in their shoes, she'd be showing up to all the events, signing autographs, selling cards, and probably getting complimentary food and drink.
I approve. And to top it off, you could play a few rounds of Genius Invocation with everyone.
I was reading up on the game's inventors before I came to Mondstadt. I was originally hoping to arrange an interview with them. But I soon discovered that there's no mention anywhere of where they live or of any Genius Invocation events that they've attended. It's as if they've designed the game and then never played it again.
Either they don't want to play the game, or they're unable to. But they must have their reasons.
I wonder if they'll show up at all during the King of Invocation's Grand Prix.
Maybe, if you get lucky. And based on my experience, the Traveler seems to have no shortage of that.
Oh, really? Well, that gives me one less thing to worry about. Anyway, our focus is still on tracking down the card snatcher. I heard Snezhnaya has an old saying, if you try chasing two rabbits at once, you'll only end up empty-handed.
Well, the Traveler and Paimon can always split up and chase one rabbit each. Oh, okay, now Paimon's feeling hungry. We can worry about all this later. Right now it's time to get some grub.
You can always trust Paimon to know where life's priorities lie. If it's food you're after, I recommend taking a look at the nearby stalls. The tournament has brought quite a crowd, so there's a lot of fun to be had around the venue.
Sounds great! Thanks, Kaya!
City on the Lake teams with talent in TCG tournament as young prodigy best Favonian cavalry captain. This title saves face for the Knights, but lacks a little oomph. Top strategic mind of the Knights of Favonius outsmarted by Bridge Boy in 5-round failure. Captain's championship hopes crushed in dazzling Dark Horse defeat? Maybe I should stick with my first draft.
I won! I won! Thanks! I can't wait to tell my mom. This'll make her really happy, won't it? Mom was the one who kept telling me I should join the tournament, so I'm gonna give the prizes to her. I really wish my dad could see me now. I won! I won! Bye! Genius Invocation is so much fun!
Oh, what an amazing tournament. That Timmy, huh? He really has a gift for this.
Yeah, who saw that coming? But at least I can feel a little better about losing to him now.
Hey there. Something else you wanted to discuss? The game's really caught on lately. It's a part of everyday life now. Everywhere you go, you see people playing it. In fact, some people have even given up drinking in order to keep a clear head during the game. I'm sure Diona will be happy to hear that. Don't worry, everyone's just fine. I actually managed to convince Jean to join me for a game, but we only got part of the way through before she was called away. I ended up having to finish the match for the two of us. What can you do? Everyone has to put their work first. But, seeing how successful the tournament has turned out and how much fun everyone's had, I'm hoping that she at least has one less thing to worry about. Sure. We should have a game of Genius Invocation TCG when you get the chance.
Wait, why is everyone leaving? Did I miss it?
Ah, Mika. Too bad you weren't here to see it. I'm afraid that Captain Kaya lost.
What? Tell me everything. What happened?
Well, I don't know much about Genius Invocation myself, but I did try to follow along by listening in to what everyone was saying. Captain Kaya took out one of Timmy's character cards right at the start, giving him an early advantage. But I guess that was all part of his opponent's strategy? In any case, Timmy spent the first few rounds stocking up cards in his hand and then swung the game with a brutal offensive right at the end. But, maybe the match was already over from the moment they flipped the coin and determined that Kaya would go second. Whew, I need a drink.
Calm down, bro. Now's not the time to start drinking your sorrows away. Knowing Captain Kaya, he wouldn't want to see you upset over his loss. Hey, why don't we learn how to play too? Maybe then we'll get to play against Captain Kaya someday. Though, I'm sure we'd lose pretty badly to him.
Yeah, you're right, Mika. Not a bad plan.
It's about time for us to head off to Lille. We've got a card snatcher to catch.
City on the Lake teams. This top strategic mind of the Knights of Favonius out-captains championship hope. Maybe I should stick with my first draft.